Hey, this is Nikki, and I'm here to share the messages that I get from Spirit and from all of our higher selves that are on this journey to love. And it's an incredible journey. So I'm sure that you might have seen in the news that Tom Petty has passed away. And also just want to say to all those people in America who, if they had anyone impacted by the gunman at the music festival, then you know, so much tragedy happening in the world at the moment, so my heart goes out to every single one of you. Now the Tom Petty thing, his songs have been coming through in healings recently, and one of them is this one, which is Learning to Fly. And so this morning I came back to have a look at it because I remembered that this has been coming through over the last couple of weeks in people's healings. And when I came back to look at it again and just to focus and just to have a look at the comments, I was like, I know there's going to be comments in here that that will be messages for us. So the first one is this. It says, you and I will meet again when we're least expecting it. One day in some far off place, I will recognize your face. I won't say goodbye, my friend, for you and I will meet again. Tom Petty. And so that one was 22 by it. Now 22 is the sign of the beloved. Whenever I see 22, if you look in comments at songs, you know, this is like a really good, you know, tip. If you feel that a song is coming in your mind, then look it up. Look in the comments, because there will always be messages for you. 22 is a sign of the beloved. Keep the faith and hope. So I scroll down further, and I've been saying that we are all like Sherlock Holmes and Watson, right? Looking for, you know, following these just like this, following the path of messages that you're given through signs, through synchronicities, through everything. It's like a constant, you know, it's basically like having a conversation with the universe. It's just everywhere, especially now. Now, if you follow my videos and you're part of the crystal grid, I do a crystal grid which you receive pieces of rose quartz. And when you meditate with that, it's basically about grounding love onto the planet and also bringing you and your twin into alignment. And basically, you know, the energies, and you receive all the healings that I do for everyone on the grid. Anyway, all of that is based around the forest lovers who are entwined together for eternity around the oak tree. And in the comments there is somebody called Oak Tree, and again that had the 22 stamp against it. And they said, rest in peace because you are flying. And so what is really, so the message today is to remember that you are flying higher and higher and higher in your consciousness. Right, so, and every point of that journey, it doesn't mean that you're not going to hit an air pocket sometimes. And if you've ever been on a flight and you hit an air pocket in an aeroplane, it suddenly drops. And it's really frightening because it just drops suddenly, and you can literally fly out of your seat, right? And so that's why that's the message today, is because you're rising higher and higher and higher. But that doesn't mean that at some point you're not going to hit an air pocket and suddenly freak out again. So, but the message is to always remember that you need to, that those days will happen. There's no doubt about it. But you are still rising higher and higher and higher. Like the plane it just keeps on going up, right? So that's the message for today, because all of these, you know, what's so quite amazing is that this, you know, it's only been over the last couple of weeks that Tom Petty's songs have been coming through in healings. And a lady contacted me this morning who I'd done a healing for, and she said that her connection, she has a strong connection, it means a lot to her around Tom Petty as well. And so I knew the message today was having to be about Tom Petty. And again, in the comments, it doesn't just have about the oak tree, it also has Watson, and it also has David, which is the Star of David, right? The Star of David is the sign of divine union, divine faith, right? Keep the faith and keep the hope. So that is the message for today, because there is so much support around for you on this journey to bring love into the planet, right? Just look, and it's very symbolic as well around the timing of this coincide, like one of the greatest singers, you know, has also timed with the death of all those people at a music concert, right? By tragedy, right? And so it's about moving into more and more and more love, right? So moving away from these fears and these sort of completely, horrendous tragic events, right? So it's about trusting that love will win, and trusting that love is the only truth, and trusting that love is your truth. One of the, a lady came back to me, she'd had a letter from me that I've been channeling letters between your higher selves. And she bumped into her twin, or she saw her twin, and he gave her a magnet. So I was like, well, that's the best message ever. He gave you a magnet. I mean, that you could not get a stronger message from the universe than to say, remember, don't fall off the path, because you are literally magnetizing one another to each other, right? Via the heart and via love. So, again, really nice confirmation. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to pick a page out of this book that they want me to read today, and it is the Book of How to Love. And so it is a pot in search of a lid. So very often we feel like a pot without a lid, and we believe that our lid is somewhere in the world, and that if we look very hard we'll find the right lid to cover our pot. The feeling of emptiness is always there inside us. When we contemplate the other person, sometimes we think we see that we feel we lack. We think we need someone else to lean on, to take refuge in, and to diminish our suffering. We want to be the object of another person's attention and contemplation. We want someone who will look at us and embrace our feeling of emptiness and suffering with his energy of mindfulness. Soon we become addicted to that kind of energy. We think that without that attention, we can't live. And it helps us feel less empty and helps us to feel the block of suffering inside. When we ourselves can't generate the energy to take care of ourselves, we think we need the energy of someone else. We focus on the need and the lack rather than generating the energy of mindfulness, concentration, and insight that can heal our suffering and help the other person as well. So that is the message today. Remember to focus on the love, right? Don't focus on the lack. Always, always focus on the love that you have in your heart for each other. And if you want to have a reading or a healing or a love letter that I channel from your divine twins, then please do. All of my details are in the link. For a letter, it's only $10. I give you, basically I take a photo of the letter and I send it to you. And then if you want to have a healing, I basically see everything like a film, and then I give you a write-up of everything I see. And if you want to have a reading, then please do. I'm just going to finish with one of the letters. So this is from their high self. So, I love you. Plain and simple, and yet loaded with so much heartfelt meaning and sentiment that 3 words don't do it justice. In fact, every word in the dictionary times a million zillion couldn't even express the depth of my love for you. You may ask, how deep is our lovely love really? Well, deeper than any ocean, bluer than any sky, and longer than any train ride known to man. You see, our love is immortal, unimaginable, invincible, and truly, truly magical, beyond words, beyond pictures, beyond what the eyes can see, to what we can feel in our hearts. Know that we make a whole, 2 perfectly fitting jigsaw pieces, creating a magnificent, beautiful, peaceful daisy chain heart. Well, there you go. I mean, just how gorgeous. And the lady came back to me about that and wrote this amazing email. It was very eloquent. And basically saying that the daisy chain heart was, you know, so lovely because very symbolic of all of us, you know, creating that daisy chain around the world, right, with all of the twin flame loves. So yeah, a beautiful thing. So if you want one of those from your twin, then please do. All details are in the link. All right, but in the meantime, remember, we are all just learning how to love unconditionally. That is the journey that we are all on. And sometimes we might fall off or we might hit an air pocket, but it's all about going higher and higher and higher. We're all learning how to fly. All right, well, I hope that helps. Take care, have a great day. And yeah, if you want to have a healing or to have a reading, I'm doing bundle offers. So if you buy 2, you get 3. So you can have a healing, a reading, and a Your Story read and it works out £22 each. So all of those details are in the link. All right, take care, have a great one.